So a couple of hours ago, Conor McGregor released a statement talking about why he pulled out of the fight against Michael Chandler. He says, "Very tough to be ruled out of my scheduled return bout. I picked up an injury prior to the press conference that required more time to heal than was available to me. The decision to postpone the fight was not made lightly, but one made in consultation with my doctors, the UFC and my team. My fans and opponent deserve me at my best for this fight, and we will get there. Thank you for the messages of support. I am in good spirits and confident I'll be back." Okay, well, if he's injured, he's injured. It is what it is. But I still can't help but think it is very, very suspicious that the UFC went from not promoting the fight to suddenly putting the promo and free fights to promote Conor and Chandler on their YouTube page a few days ago, and then in the meantime there was clearly hesitation about whether or not Conor McGregor would be able to fight. I find that very suspicious, but I talked about that in yesterday's video, so yeah, is what it is. In terms of Conor pulling out of the fight, well, again, if he's injured that badly, it is what it is. But I haven't seen any detail as far as what he has injured. And thankfully, a lot of people, in fact, most people, I think, on posts on social media have been saying exactly what I've been thinking, which is Conor McGregor doesn't deserve people to give him the benefit of the doubt and people to be, fair and understanding to him, because this guy has done nothing but rip into people who pull out of fights when they are scheduled to fight him because of injury. When Jose Aldo, who by the way, interestingly enough, as you can see, liked this post, pulled out of the fight because of a broken rib, McGregor did nothing but rip into him. He said the day it was announced he was out, well, if a man's scared for his life, what can I do? I mean, need I say more? When Rafael dos Anjos pulled out of a fight because his foot was broken horribly, McGregor did nothing but lambast him. When Khabib pulled out for all of these different reasons, Conor did nothing but take shots at him, even though Conor wasn't fighting. So, yeah, McGregor, it's so funny how things come around. And also, how ironic is it that not only has Conor pulled out of a fight with an injury, but also earlier this year, Tyson Fury pulled out of a fight due to a cut. And I mean, arguably, certainly in the time that I've been following combat sports for the last 15 years or whatever, the two loudest fighters I can think of, or certainly two of the loudest, maybe not the two loudest, but two of the loudest and most arrogant fighters when it comes to turning up to fights and saying that they would never pull out, again, lambasting and just going in on their opponents who do pull out due to injuries, are now pulling out of fights due to injuries themselves. And, before now, McGregor had been incredibly difficult to get in the cage. He was incredibly inactive to begin with, and Fury had found different ways to duck fights, etc. So it's not like this is the first time they haven't taken fights. But again, to pull out of fights due to injuries, so ironic. So the other problem here is, when is Conor McGregor going to return? Because UFC 305 has a main event. It's pretty much confirmed it's Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, but for some strange reason the fight isn't announced yet. Apparently the UFC doesn't want these guys to headline the Sphere, and every fighter wants to headline the Sphere, so yeah, that is understandable. They are going to reserve somebody else for it. I have a feeling it's going to be Sean O'Malley, but we'll wait and see what happens. So that is UFC 306. UFC 307, it just doesn't make sense for them to headline that event. So is it really going to be anytime soon? Apparently, I hear that Conor's injury isn't going to be keeping him out for that long, as in that many months. So they could just spend more time sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the correct date. And is Michael Chandler really going to wait again? I mean, what can you do with this guy? It is what it is. And by the way, I don't feel tons of remorse for Chandler, because if you were going to spend years of your life sucking up to another human being, which is what Michael Chandler has done, he has just done nothing but suck up to Conor McGregor. I might make a compilation video of the amount of times he has gone out of his way to. I mean, he's almost commented on Conor McGregor as if he's a girl. And this kind of thing happens. Hey, it's what it is. I certainly don't wish this on Chandler, but he can't say he kind of hasn't brought it on himself. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more.